You're listening to the Pal Pad, a VGC podcast where I, Duy Ha, go around connecting with others in the VGC community to get to know them just a little bit better. Before we get started here today, some important dates coming up. This weekend, down in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Latin American International Championships are happening. That event's going to be streamed, so go ahead and check out that stream at twitch.tv/Pokemon. Each day, streaming is supposed to start at 2:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just go ahead and convert that to whatever time zone it is that you currently reside in. It's a strong commentary team being sent down there to host the event. It's going to be hosted by Cybertron, Lulu the Pikachu, Osiris, and Yoshi. So I'm really excited to hear them this coming weekend. Upcoming regional championships, the Roanoke Regional Championships are happening November 24th and 25th. Don't forget to register online at player.arcanine.labs.com and check out blueridgepokemon.com for more information about that event. Over in Oceania, the Brisbane Regional Championships are happening December 1st and December 2nd. You can register online. There's a website. It's forum.jotform.co with a lot of numbers. Just Google it. Just Google the Brisbane Regional Championships and you'll be able to find that online registration page. This is the first episode. This is the first time that I've tried doing this. I've wanted to try doing this for a while now, and what's a better way to start off than with one of my first friends from the community. He's an influential figure in the early VGC scene as a player, and later on, he kind of turned into this really progressive online tournament host. A lot of the formats are still being used to this day for any online tournament. So anyways, here it is, the first ever Pal Pad with Paul, Zerowing, Makiri, Mr. Banana Grabber, Hornak. Thanks for being on here. Thanks for taking time to join me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. I mean, you're the first person, so we'll see how this goes, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been around for a very long time. I mean, when did you actually start your competitive Pokemon prowess?
Like competitively, just
any sort of competitive Pokemon. I mean, I guess we could also talk about just casual Pokemon play.
So, like I got the games in 98, 99 back when they first came out.
Which one did you start with?
I bought Red.
Red. I got Red too.
Yeah, I like Red.
Yeah.
And from then on, I got all the Red ones. So Gold.
Is that really the red one?
Ruby.
I guess the first one in the name.
It's redder than Silver.
I mean, I guess.
Anyway, yeah. So I started back then. I didn't really play competitively then, I guess. When Gold and Silver came out, that's when I started getting seriously into battling people in the neighborhood, looking up guides online, and that's when I joined online forums like Pojo and GameFAQs, and that's when I started looking at better ways to improve my battling so I can beat all the other people.
But this wasn't anything actually competitive. This was really just kids in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's just beating the kids in my neighborhood.
Did you beat them?
Yeah. From
back in the old days when we had to use the link cable and all that.
Yeah. I really missed those days. But yeah, it would just be dumb sets,
Yeah.
Back when I was playing, I would put Toxic on everything, thinking it was just absolutely broken on move or something. So if you could learn Toxic, it had Toxic.
Yeah.
But I eventually learned better than that. But yeah, even then, you look at the Gold, Silver, Crystal meta game, even 10 years ago, in 2006 or so, it was, a lot of stalling and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with the neighborhood kids, you're just beating the heck out of each
Right,
other.
they might not have access to the same guides as you.
You're not even stalling. You're just you're sending out your Charizard, you're sending out your Blastoise, and hoping you beat the opponent.
Yeah,
and
so
not really stall tactics with spikes and stuff. That's why I thought Toxic was broken, because I was starting to learn how to stall.
Yeah. So after that, I guess that was mostly just around kids in your neighborhood. But moving on to the actual, I don't know. Did you ever do? I guess the first one that I can think of competitively. I know there's a lot of more competitive events, but I think JAA was really the precursor to VGC. Did you ever do JAA?
So
Journey Across America,
actually,
for those that don't know.
I'm going to go back even further.
Even further, all right.
2005, I think it was the Emerald Battle Frontier.
Oh, you were actually part of that.
So the way they used to do it is you would have like these online quizzes.
I remember that. Yeah, because
And
like
yeah,
frontiers, right?
yeah. So they separated the country into different frontiers, and I was in the West Frontier. I forget what they call it. So you had to take these online quizzes, and they would, just cut off a certain number of people every stage. And so I got to like the last stage where if you got like top 2 in your region for this online quiz, dumb quiz, you would get the trip to Seattle and battle it out. But what I didn't know years later, I didn't do very well in the quiz. I think I got like 6th or something out of 10 people. What I found out years later through Mike Scarm, Papagiannis, is they had this little trick where they would like freeze the time because it was all timed.
Yeah.
And so they would freeze the time or something like that, and then or get to take it again. I don't remember. There was some trick that like a lot of people abused. I didn't get to abuse. And so yeah, like I was excited. I had the team ready and all that. Like I was starting to really get into competitive.
Yeah.
On Pojo and Smogon, but I didn't know that little trick.
I mean, to me, the history of competitive Pokemon really. I mean, obviously there was like the Mall Tour.
Yeah.
Of America back in the day, back in like the Red, Blue, Yellow, and then I think the next step after that. I don't know anything about Gold, Silver. But definitely Battle Frontier was the next step in terms of like a competitive format that Pokemon actually sponsored. And then following that was Journey Across America the year after in 2006. Did you compete in that or no?
No.
Because it seemed like you knew about the events at that point.
I was like actively involved in Smogon and competitive Pokemon communities then, and I just didn't have the opportunity to go. Like I was still 17 or something like that.
2006, I think you're about to enter college, enter university.
So yeah, when that was going on, when it first started, I was graduating high school or something like that, and it was a weird time for me. So I couldn't really just go. I really wanted to, but I just never got the opportunity. I was really involved in watching and keeping track with everyone who was doing well and all that, getting disqualified and all that. But yeah, like I was keeping in touch with it, but I never actually got to play at a tournament. I would practice a lot, but I just didn't get to play.
Yeah. I mean, 2006, you actually went to the same school that I did.
Yeah.
Not like high school or anything like that,
Yeah,
but we ended up at the same university, UC Davis. Unfortunately, you weren't around when I was around. I think you only spent like one year at Davis.
Just 1 year.
Yeah. And I remember you'd always tell me to go to this one restaurant, and I just like, dude, it's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah. I don't even think it was a good restaurant, but
no, I think it's just because it was the cuisine that you grew up eating, and that's why you're like, you should go try this.
Yeah.
What was it called again? I forgot what it's called.
Little Prague.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it was like comfort food for me, and then like the only time I ever got food like from Czechoslovakian food was from my grandma or my dad.
Yeah, so it's comfort food.
Yeah, so like I've never seen a store, a restaurant, anything cater to that demographic. So I was like, in the same city as the college I'm going to, they have this food randomly.
Right.
And I guess it closed down shortly after I left, but yeah.
I mean, I think it was around a couple of years when I was there. So I started UC Davis in 2009. So I think if you stayed, the typical 4-year course, we would have overlapped for 1 year.
Yeah.
We could have known each other even sooner. Actually, I think we met before that anyways.
We did.
Yeah. So, 2006 JA, you didn't really get to play, and then I think the next format up after that was VGS 2008 VGS, where you came
Video Game Showdown.
Yeah, you came second place at the SoCal qualifier.
Yeah.
Qualified for the World Championships. Went on to Orlando. Why don't you give us a quick rundown of that season?
Yeah, same thing in 2005 or whatever. They had an online quiz, except
again,
this qualified you to participate in that tournament or something. I don't exact. So like, I was randomly going to be in LA and New York back to back.
Yeah.
In the same tournaments.
You have family out in New York.
I have family in New York, so I signed up for both.
Yeah.
And apparently they didn't like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I got up, like they did some like a drawing or something there because they had to fill out the tournament. And I didn't make it in LA, but I did make it in New York for the online quiz. But in LA, I got in through the fill-in where they needed people to fill out the tournament. And then I think as I was like completing the check-in, I think it was Dave Schwimmer. He comes up and he says, "Oh, you can't play. You're disqualified for some reason." I'm like,
Really?
"Why?" Yeah. I don't remember exact reasons, but probably because I was signed up for 2 tournaments.
Yeah.
But yeah. So eventually they did let me play because they couldn't find out why I was disqualified, or I couldn't. They didn't find out exactly. They knew I was disqualified for some reason, but then they found out that maybe I wasn't. So they let me play.
Yeah.
And then I took what was the team? Oh, the Dusk Noir and Weavile, and it was an interesting team, not very good, but I had Machamp.
Of course you would.
Yeah,
Of course you would have
Machamp.
Machamp. Yeah.
Machamp was awesome. It was decent, not very good.
I mean, second place in that tournament is still pretty cool.
Back then it was good,
Yeah.
but you look at it now and you're like, what is this garbage?
I mean, back then we didn't have the resource that we have now.
Yeah, so I went through the tournament and I got to the finals, and then what a lot of people didn't know is they put the finals on PBR as opposed to the carts. So a lot of the Machamp advantage where
Oh yeah,
you
that's
could hit
right.
through Protect
Yeah.
is no longer there.
Yeah.
And I kept attacking the Protects with Machamp. So that didn't go very well. I just totally threw the finals.
What cartridge was that format played in? Was it
Diamond and
Pearl, not
yeah.
Platinum?
It
Yeah.
was Diamond.
They fixed that in Platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in Diamond and Pearl, Machamp
Yeah, Machamp was broken.
was pretty awesome. So what people don't know, if you don't know, back in Diamond and Pearl, with no guard, you could hit through Protects based on the chance you could miss. So Dynamic Punch would hit 50% of the time through a Protect, whereas, something with 90% accuracy would hit 10% of the time.
Yeah.
So Dynamic Punch, half the time it's going to hit through a Protect.
That's pretty busted.
Yeah.
That's really
yeah,
busted.
Yeah. And then it would
Yeah.
confuse them, and
Yeah.
then maybe they don't. But yeah, they put it on PBR, so I totally lost that advantage. And I just played really poorly. It was fun though, and so
You got what I think I wanted most throughout my entire playing career through that tournament. You got a big cardboard check out of that one.
I still have that.
Do you have it up here, or is it?
Yeah, it's here.
It's here.
It's here. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see that later because
Yeah.
I've always wanted one of those fake
It's
checks.
so awesome. It's not really a fake check, but it's there's pictures of me holding it
Yeah, of
on the
course.
stage and all that.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Like everyone in the top 8 that year got those. So
Yeah.
it was really neat.
And then the World Championships that year in 2008 were hosted in Orlando, Florida. What was it? 8 qualifiers from each from SoCal.
16.
16?
Eight from SoCal.
And then
I'm
8
counting
from
seniors. No one cares about juniors.
8 from New York.
8 from New
qualified.
York, yeah, and
Yeah.
then 16 from Japan. I think only like 14 came.
Yeah.
So
So a bracket of 32 in air
something like
quotation
that.
marks.
Yeah,
there.
I remember 2 U.S. players ended up playing each other, and then I
I
forget.
think from what I remember from the bracket, a lot of the U.S. players have dropped from the World Championships real fast.
Yeah. So the only people that won were Chris, who beat me in L.A., and then the Americans that beat each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was rough because they sort of had like an extra year for that format because we got the rules like a month in advance. It was doubles, which we weren't sure was going to happen, and they were playing that format the year before. So the world champion that year, he won like the Japanese nationals the year before with the same exact team, which everyone was using that year. But it was
Molf Party?
Molf Party, yeah.
Molf Party.
And so, yeah, they had that extra year to play around with the tournament or the rules. And I feel like I could have done pretty well because I spent a lot of time on my team, and it was an imprisoned explosion team. And it had I led with Azelf and Uxie, which in testing, the only thing it was weak to was Weavile.
And did you face a Weavile?
And my first opponent had Weavile.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how VGC works.
Yeah.
Especially back in the day, it's like, man, this team's really solid. This was back in the time when team preview didn't exist, so you just
Yeah.
really had 4 Pokemon, and you just bring your squad and hope that your opponent's counters don't counter
Yeah.
them. And then this one just did.
So I had this whole strategy thought out. Like, if they lead Weavile, this is what I'm gonna do, and it happened. Like, I took out the Weavile, but then it came down to like their Snorlax. Their Snorlax didn't get KO'd by something. No, their Abomasnow didn't get KO'd by my Snorlax Fire Punch.
What?
Yeah. So he had to be like max defenses or something. I was like pretty livid. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, was he hacking or what? It didn't get KO'd, and then I just panicked. I was like, what's going on here? So I sort of threw that one as well. Like, you could see like I had the thoughts, and I was really good. I could, but I panicked really easy and just threw games away like that in the tournaments. So.
Yeah. Well, 2008 was
It was the first year for
a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first year. I mean, that World Championships had Aaron Zhang
in
the juniors division. Ray Rizzo's first VGC tournament as well. Blue Cookies back in the day. So, that's where a lot of players actually got their start. And
I'm trying to think of
there.
people who actually played in those tournaments and are still around. But like Ray, Aaron, Trista.
Trista didn't qualify for the World Championships.
She didn't
though.
qualify.
She was
but
there in New
she
York.
did play
I
in New
believe,
York, yeah. But D-Train, I think he played in New York, and he was at Orlando but didn't play there. But yeah, like very few people are still around that
from 2008. Yeah.
And those people that are still around don't really play that much anymore, except Aaron.
Yeah, and then 2009 comes along, and I think that's, I guess, what players may consider the first true VGC season. I mean, VGC season is like kind of weird because it was like that rotating, it's that rotating regional championship format that traveled throughout the entire country so that players could play through that awesome lottery system.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't consider it real because of the lottery system, and the single elimination. But I feel like in a way the single elimination makes it a lot harder. Like, you lose, you're done.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure when you're going through. Like, imagine, you're in the top 8 cut somewhere, single elimination, one game. That's the entire tournament.
Yeah, tournament lives are always online there. And
so
it's crazy.
It's tough, and people want to, downplay the accomplishments of people back then, but I think it's just as hard, if not harder, to do well in those tournaments.
Yeah, and 2009 actually, I guess, kicks off your dynasty, as I guess people would call it. I mean, you're the first of your 3 regional championships, right? You have 3 regional championships under your belt, all within a row, a three-peat, I guess. 2009, you won the Phoenix, Arizona regional championships.
Mm-hmm.
I remember 2009 was actually the year that we met.
First met,
and I called you on the phone from Hui's phone because Hui was competing at the NorCal regional championships.
So So Hui wasn't really into VGC yet, and like we were friends online. We were playing singles and all that, and then 2009 comes around. I build a pretty cool team. Transform Smeargle with Lapras and Machamp. Fun zone. Transform into Machamp, and you got 2 Machamps punching you down.
Transform into Lapras, you got 2 Laprases just surfing into each other.
It was a really fun team, and so I said, "Hey Hui, there's a tournament like right down the street from you or something." I don't remember exactly where it was.
Oh, it was. Well, you live there. You live in Fremont now. That's the city that they actually host the regional.
Oh, really?
That's actually where I'm from.
Yeah.
It's actually just one exit down this highway right next to you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
really
literally right down the corner. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, Hui, go to that tournament and test my team for me.
I remember. Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I said, just test it for me. I want, because there's back then I think we were testing on PBR, which a lot of times you're playing against Ubers that are banned in VGC.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, test this out. Give me some like real world feedback. And then he goes and wins with the team. I'm like, great.
Hui actually brought me along to that tournament, and I only went because it was, like I said, it was like 10 minutes away from my house. And he's just like, hey, if I'm on like the screens, can you like, stand in front so that people can't watch or anything like that? And I'm like, the TVs are so high up that I'm just standing there, just like stretching my arms all the way up, just trying to obscure everybody's vision. And the people were actually like, "Hey, can you like step down
Can you
for a little
stop?
bit? Yeah, can you stop?" And I'm like, "Okay, sorry." And then I was just like, "All right, cool." And then I think once he hit the finalist lounge, Hui hands me his phone, and this was what finalist lounge back then was top 16. Handed me his phone, and he's like, "Hey, can you call this guy named Paul on my phone and tell him that I'm in the finalist lounge?" So I just take the phone, I ring you up, and then you pick up, and I'm like, "Hey, my brother's in the finalist lounge." And then I just hang up.
Yeah. Well, when I answered, I said, "Wait, your brother?" Like I knew Hui had a brother, and I was like, "So your brother's playing?" Because it's coming from Hui's phone. I'm like, "Wait, your brother's winning with my team. What's going on?" Eventually, I find out that it was Hui winning, but yeah, like that was pretty interesting. The very first time we've ever talked or met was
Through Hui's
yeah,
phone, yeah.
yeah,
And then, the next week I remember you actually had to change your team because everybody knew Hui's team.
yeah, because
they actually posted the video online.
it was
of
so
him winning,
unique, yeah, and yeah. So back then they would sometimes post battle video codes, or people would record it and post it on YouTube, and people are always trying to find out what won because that influences a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, well, great.
Your team's gone. Your
my
team is
team-
revealed.
The team that I wanted to get tested won, and everyone knows about it. So I came up with something quick, just Zap Chomp.
Yeah. Wow. I forgot his full name. Jeremy Bontekun.
Yeah.
That was his team from the year before.
He was at
right?
2008. So I think he used Gengar, Metagross, Zapdos, Garchomp. I really like, the spread moves and all that because, it gets people on their toes and,
You have to play around it.
they have to play around you. You can't just protect your way out of it.
Nowadays, it's pretty easy to get around
Yeah.
it. You just play a little bit more defensive switching.
Yeah. So, yeah. But no one thought about Obama Snow. And Scarf Obama Snow, I think, was like almost the MVP of that team. Just like, it's so good at just dealing with focus sashes, the blizzard that never misses, and it was just really solid. So yeah, I took that and I went undefeated in Phoenix with that, and
I
won.
remember watching your finals battle during that tournament. Your opponent used what was it? Helping Hand, Sludge Bomb. Like this, he led
Yeah.
Gengar and Smeargle,
Yeah.
and back in the day, Smeargle was just known for going for those dark voids. It's still, I guess not now, but throughout VGC history, it has. That Helping Hand Sludge Bomb just one hit KO'd your Zapdos right off
Yeah.
the bat, and I think from there, I just kind of fell in love with the move of Helping Hand because it just gave it such a boost. So Phoenix happens. Back then, you'd win a trip for yourself and a trip for your companion.
Yeah.
You got to take along anybody you wanted to the national championships, and Hui took me along,
Yeah.
and that's where we met for the first time ever.
Funny thing about that is, so I took Fish,
Yeah, yeah.
and so he lived in Phoenix, and he drove to my house in SoCal. Then we flew from SoCal to Phoenix
For the layover, yeah.
for the layover. We're supposed to be on the same flight, you and I,
Oh yeah.
but my flight was delayed leaving SoCal, so we were stuck in Phoenix for like 6 hours.
Fish's car was not
Fish-
there.
He didn't have his car, he didn't have his keys, so we couldn't like just go chill at his house or anything. So we're just chilling in the airport for like 6 hours, just absolutely exhausted. We finally get to St. Louis, and then we walk. Then the next day, like early morning, we walk. I forget how far it was. 3 or 4
It felt
miles.
no, I don't think
maybe?
it was like looking back. It felt like 3 or 4 miles, but I'm pretty sure it was just 1 mile through downtown St. Louis to go to
Yeah.
Pappy's Barbecue. that was when we truly became friends. I think
Yeah.
just walking through, just St. Louis, exploring it. A lot of weird things were happening past the.
I remember Michael
courthouse.
Jackson died. The
Michael
day
Jackson
before.
did die.
Because Fish and I are in the airport for 6 hours.
The
and
news.
that's all we heard was about Michael Jackson.
Yeah. So
Everyone's getting off the planes. Michael Jackson died? What?
So 2009 Nats. There was also a lottery system. The players that
So they need to
qualified
fill
through
out
the
the tournament
regionals.
again.
Yeah, the players that qualified through the regional championships.
Yeah.
What was
I
it? Top 4 at
Top
each regional.
4 at each regional qualified for nationals, and then they had to fill out the tournament more, I guess.
And then we broke out I remember this because the players, they broke off into, 4 flights, and then from
4
there they
flights.
competed in Swiss rounds.
Yeah.
That was really our first
First
exposure
Swiss,
to
yeah.
Swiss. And you whiffed that Worlds invite. You needed to pretty much make it through your flight. So you need to be top 4 in your flight
Yeah.
to qualify for the World
So
Championships in San Diego.
I went X1, my only loss being to where my Metagross missed a bullet punch on a mammoth swine that was at like no HP.
At Snowcloak? With Snowcloak.
With Snowcloak. And so it missed that, and so I lose, and then I win out, and I ended up 5-1. I think it was the 5th one in my flight.
Yeah.
And our flight was actually pretty good. Like it had
616.
3 regionals champions. So me, Len, 616, some other decent people.
Vash the Stampede back in the day.
I think he won his regional. Like we had 3 regional champions.
Oh no, Vash was
yeah.
he was runner up.
He's runner up.
Yeah.
And then we had the Seattle winner in that flight. Len was the Texas winner. I was the Phoenix winner. Like it was a group of death, and I still went X and 1, but bubbled because. And I was furious because I didn't know what Swiss was. Like
nobody knew what Swiss was,
like,
right?
Why? I'd have the same record as this person above me. Why am I getting? Why am I not getting it? And so, everyone who got out of their flights got a Worlds invite, and it kind of sucked. I didn't make it in, but I mean, it is what it is now.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a really good chance with that team that I had that year.
Yeah. And then 2010 rolls along. I mean, you did go to the.
So you forgot about the Ducks.
That's right. That's right. This is the formation of the Ducks. Yeah.
Yes. So 2009 is actually the actual birth of the Ducks, where I was making Hui's team, which was my nationals team. He was still like not that great at the game. He's just sort of playing the autopilot teams, and then eventually I gave him this team, which is sort of autopilot, but it's autopilot because it's so good at shutting the opponent down. Anyway, so. He wanted his Pokemon named after the Mighty Ducks characters from the movie The Mighty Ducks, Goldberg and all them. And so when he was playing and he would win, we would all be shouting in the crowd, quack, 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 quack. And that's the birth of the Ducks, where, me and Fish that same year were like, okay, Seattle, is the weakest regional always.
Because it's the first one.
It's the first one.
It's the
no one
first
knows
one
what's
format.
going on. So next year we're going there. That's where we planned everything out from the Ducks. We're like, we're gonna go to Seattle. We're gonna win it, and then we also had those cool duck shirts.
Yeah, we did. Courtesy of one of Nick McCord's artist friends. Nick McCord, the MC of the tournaments. But yeah, 2010 was a great year. That's when I started competing. But then we also had that epic road trip where Fish drove from Phoenix to SoCal up to Davis to pick me and Hui up. This is when me and Hui started going to school at UC Davis, and from there drive from UC Davis up to Seattle, where we actually met up with Rushan, Mike Papagiannis, Jason Winya, and that was a great squad. That was a solid squad of people. You ended up winning that regional championship.
We're all wearing Ducks shirts.
Yeah.
So we're going in, and people are like, "Oh man, these
team.
These guys are a squad.
The squad here." Yeah.
And so I think all of us made the finalist lounge, which was top 32. I think.
Yeah. You and I.
Rashawn didn't.
No, Rashawn.
He lost to Glenn Arnold.
Yeah, I beat Glenn Arnold that year.
Yeah.
I forgot what the final standings were. Did Mike or Jason make it? I forgot.
I think they made the finalist lounge.
And then they lost soon after.
Yeah.
Jason was using that Parasect team, which was really cool. There's a YouTube video of that
Parasect team was
epic comeback.
He lost to a Golem, I think.
Yeah, he did. Focus Sash Golem. This is before Sturdy was acting like a Focus Sash, but that was just overall such a great regional championship. I think you and I met in the top 8, so I had secured an invite.
Yeah.
And then you ended up beating me.
Yeah.
You actually clicked run. And
So
you clicked run.
I clicked run against you, and then Maryland, who was the ref, we sort of, hey, I accidentally clicked run, and he said he gave it up to you. He deferred to you. Say, do you still want to play?
This was the start of me being a gentleman.
Yeah.
I said, sure, I'll play this. I'll play this one out. Spirit of the game.
Play it out, yeah.
and then you ended up winning the whole regional. It was quite the epic regional championship finals because it was you versus Fish.
Yeah.
You ended up winning that,
So
securing your second regional championship.
Like the year before, we said, hey, Fish and I, we're gonna go to Seattle and we're gonna win it, and we ended up top 2, and that was like the best feeling. Me and him just playing in the finals. Me
getting my Nats invite already at Seattle, and then I think one of the reasons why I wasn't so upset was just because I still had the chance to. That was your only shot.
That was my only shot that
championship. For me, I had San Francisco.
Yeah.
The next weekend, and I was like, you know what, I'll just win it.
Yeah.
And then things happened, and I won it. But that's besides the point. You weren't able to attend 2010 Nationals, unfortunately. So your run during that season ended there.
Yeah, I'm the only undefeated in 2010, I think.
Yeah. I think everybody at some point took a loss, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, 2010 was a crazy year. It was like the first year that we got to use those big restricted Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see all the people that you helped train up. I mean, Hui made it to top 8 at the World Championships. You saw me win a regional championship. Fish almost qualified for the World Championships. He actually thought about going to the LCQ.
Yeah.
But this was when you were the leader of the Ducks. And
yeah. A lot of so after I won that, and then you won the next week, and we both won those Duck shirts. Everyone's like, all right, what's up with the Ducks?
Yeah.
And so people started coming after us, like
Duck hunters,
Falcons. Yeah, like everyone wanted to go after the Ducks.
Skarmbliss versus the Ducks. That was a classic clan battle, pretty much. It wasn't even a clan battle, really. Now we're all friends.
Like what people didn't realize back then is like
we're just friends.
We weren't like an exclusive battling group or something. We were just friends.
Yeah.
And we would share teams. Like we weren't
Top Ogre.
Yeah. So Top Ogre completely destroyed that metagame for all the regionals. Like some guy took it in Texas and won. He had no idea what he was doing. Matt in Philly.
Yeah, got top 4.
He's never played the game in his life.
What was it? He found out that Shadow Force broke Protect or something. Then he's like, oh, I'm going to protect with my Pokemon. Block your Shadow Force. It's like, oh, it hits to protect, my bad.
Yeah. Like people who didn't even know how to play the game.
No, he didn't get top 4. He got second place, didn't he?
No, he got top 4 because I think he definitely would have went if he got second place.
Regardless,
someone who doesn't play the game was like Top Ogre is just way too good, and I still don't understand to this day how it just absolutely crushed that metagame.
Yeah.
Like you either ran Top Ogre or you ran something to counter it, but then you'd lose to everything else. So like it was just that good.
Yeah. So 2011 rolls around, new game, new generation of games.
Yeah.
To speak. I think the first one you went to was probably the San Jose Regional Championships, right?
Yeah, I was actually going to quit that year.
Oh, really?
I wasn't going to play anymore.
But you did.
But I did. So, like, Scott Glaza, he sort of egged me on, hey, it was like 2 weeks before the regional. I said, all right, let me look at ticket prices. I think William Shatner gave me some really good deals. And so I'm like, okay, hey, can I stay with you guys, you and Hui?
Yeah, the Ha House has hosted many regional champions.
Yeah, so I said, hey, can I stay with you guys? I found a cheap ticket, and then Scott trained me for like a week and a half. Him and Carl and some other people. We just did like a boot camp, and I fought through and ended up. That was a pretty solid tournament. That was where he first met Aaron Traylor.
You had run the gauntlet. You had to play me, Hui.
So it was
Deagle Beagle and then Metaboo in the finals.
Yeah,
all in a row.
Yeah. So first it was Deagle Beagle who thought he had the game, and then he's, how he is. I think you did a move that was bad, and he lost.
Yeah, but it made you win.
Yeah. So I think it was Hui first. Or maybe it's Deagle first. One of the two. I can't remember. And then the other one. And then you. And then.
Another one.
And then Metaboo.
No, I wasn't in the top 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in top 8.
It was Hui top 4.
Oh, no. No, I was top 4 then. Yeah, you played me in top 4 then. Yeah.
It was top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I remember I won money from that.
Hui or Deagle. And then Hui or Deagle again. Then you. Then Metaboo. All 4 of you have played in Worlds the year before.
Yeah.
All 4 of you are brothers with one of the other person. And so like I think that finals was
It was close. It was so close.
One of the best games I ever played, and
Yeah.
Metabu, like, he was like, you played really well, and I was like, it felt really good.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of people were cheering for me. Like, other tournaments, like, people didn't really stick around when they lost, but that one, it felt like a lot of people did,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were watching. And
Do you feel like, them pushing or rooting for you actually helped, you consider staying in the game because you were about to quit, and then now you have this, like, fan base just rooting
yeah,
for you?
like, I mean, I was fine not playing, but, winning again. Like, when I won the back-to-back, it was like, there's a lot of, like, I guess, pressure on my shoulders. Like, everyone thinks, I'm this good, really good player, and now I have to win everything. And if I don't, then I'm just going to let everyone down. And so that's part of why I wanted to quit. But, I stuck with it, and I kept playing, and it also changed for me. Like, I just wanted to have fun. Like, that tournament, I was wearing, like, breakaway
Tearaway
basketball
pants,
pants and a headband. I was just trying to make it fun for everyone and myself especially. Just trying to have some fun.
Yeah.
And that's, I did have fun, and that's what kept me with it for, a few more years. Just trying to have fun with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people nowadays, they try to find why they continue to play. Obviously, some people are really good at it. Some people, they just love the competition.
Yeah.
Some people are just out there to have fun. I mean, that's why I go out,
Yeah.
just like
I mean, I was
hanging out with people.
good with it,
Yeah.
but then, like, I didn't want to just be good with it. I wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
Even though, like, nationals, I took it a little too seriously. And I made Top Cut, and then I spent, like, the whole night before Top Cut planning how to beat Fish.
And he beat you anyways. It was a mirror match. It was a complete
mirror match.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's a total coin flip. Couldn't figure out, what's he going to do, and what am I going to do? And he just played it straightforward. And I was trying to outplay him, and that didn't happen.
So if you guys met in top 16, top 8 of Nats,
it was
that year qualified for Worlds.
top 32, but top 16 qualified, I think.
No, it was top 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I whiffed my invite. And I made top 16.
Yeah. It was top 16 then, and of course, the year before it was top 16 made Worlds. This year was only top 8.
Yeah.
So again, I bubbled the Worlds.
Yeah,
And it was I think it was like the third time in a row that I was like one game away from Worlds again.
Oh, you don't got to tell me about the bubble, man. 2012, 2011 Worlds socially was also really fun.
Yeah.
Because there was an LCQ.
Yeah.
You competed in that, right?
I used, what's the Dino? I used Dino for some reason. Like I said, I wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
So I used Dino.
Yeah, but most of us were just there for the the social.
Yeah. I used Hustle Dino. And I was doing pretty well. I think I was one win away again. But I think short sleeper. I don't remember, but yeah.
I mean, regardless, we all had fun at the World Championships.
Yeah.
It was really close to you. It was in San Diego.
Yeah. It was. I remember the night where we all sort of just hung out outside of the
the merch line,
store.
The merch store.
We slept. We didn't even sleep. We were just chilling there overnight so we could buy stuff, because we heard when you buy stuff in the merch store, it goes for a lot online, like the play mats and all the merch.
Yeah, back then, definitely.
Yeah, and not so much anymore, but back then, like, you buy a mat for $20, it was like $100 online. So, yeah, I remember that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that was one of my highlights of the World Championships. Rolling into 2012, there was a SoCal regional. I
Long
believe
Beach.
this was the first season in which we stopped the rotating circuit of regionals.
I think
and
it was
instead
still
it was like
sort of rotating, but like they would do like 3 at a time, and then
no, I think this one was man, it was like two. You had 2 regionals pretty much.
at a time.
No, not at a time, but like there were 2 periods of regionals.
Yeah.
This was the first one where Hui and I separated. Hui went to SoCal with you.
Yeah.
I actually moved north towards Portland. Not Portland, sorry, Salem. And you actually lost on the tiebreaker there for your possible 4-peat regional championship. Just losing on that tiebreaker. I remember that.
That year was Swiss only.
Swiss
Didn't
only,
have a top cut.
no cut, just by tiebreakers.
That tournament was pretty decent. I was the only undefeated going into the last round, and then I can't remember if I choked or got outplayed, but we ended up there was like 3-4 X1s at the end of it, and then I was third place, and a person I beat ended up winning who didn't show up to Nats. So it was
that hurts. That hurts. But I think after that, did you come up to NorCal for the second?
So I think
regional? No.
They gave me a stipend, and I said, all right, I'll do with that, and then I picked up TCG.
Yeah.
That year. So
that's the entrance of Paul to the TCG.
Yeah. So I picked up TCG that year. I did pretty well. Like, I got top 3 at states, and I was the undefeated 9-0 in that Swiss, and it was a lot of fun. And then I went to Nats, and I couldn't decide. Like, I didn't feel comfortable with any teams in VGC, so I just went with my TCG. And I did all right. I think it was one of the biggest nationals. Of course, it gets bigger every year, but like I played Jason Klasinski and like a few other like really big name players, and I did pretty well, but not good enough. But hey, I had fun, and I experienced TCG.
Yeah, and then 2012 Worlds Hawaii. That was fun. That's the event that I showed up to. We actually practiced our commentary there, just watching matches on the side and just
I remember that. Yeah,
reciting them on the sidelines, even though we were absolute garbage at.
We had
that
that microphone.
Yeah, we were just carrying a microphone around, just like with nothing, not even attached to anything at all.
I think we were supposed to be like recording interviews or something, but we just didn't.
No, we didn't.
And then
that was the birth of Nuggetbridge. Right?
Yeah, sort of. I don't.
That between Nats and Worlds was actually the creation of Nuggetbridge. I think that's when we
were starting to get starting to get super serious. Like that Nationals was when we came up with the idea. I think.
Yeah.
It's been so long. It's tough, but yeah, sat in a Steak and Shake and came up with the idea of Nuggetbridge.
The ever so fateful night that you all were in a Steak and Shake, and your role with Nuggetbridge was actually to be the tournament organizer. You were one of the OG admins.
Yeah.
And then you really just exceeded in terms of organizing all the tournaments on Nuggetbridge. You created you created the circuit and created the invitational.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. And
oh yeah,
I couldn't have done it without like all the volunteers that helped out. Like it was a lot of work, and just every week there's something new to deal with, and thankfully people stepped up and helped, and I still can't thank those people enough. Like it was a lot of work for them, a lot of work for me.
Yeah, a lot of passion and dedication must go into that. What was your actual favorite tournament that you ever hosted on Nuggetbridge?
Oh, man. One of the majors, I can't remember which one, but no, it was Dodrio Cup.
Dodrio Cup? Yeah, that was a great tournament.
With me, Scott, and Aaron Trailer. It was coming up with that tournament. I didn't really come up with it, but it's Korokoro Cup, and now everyone has a Dodrio Cup for their
I think the latest incarnation of it was Doug Trio Cup, I believe. Right? Yeah. I believe it's Doug Trio Cup.
I think there's been a few.
Yeah, Hydreigon Cup probably too.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything with 3. Anything with 3 of you can really do. Magneton Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna invent that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Palpad Magneton Cup tournament. I actually used your tournaments as a way to help me practice commentary. Actually, a lot of the major battles and the invitational battles.
I think that also helped like everyone get better at commentary, because we'd host show matches and all that, and the Japan versus U.S. and invitational majors, and we would have people commentate those, and I think a lot of those commentators ended up using it as a jumping off point to the real commentary that goes on now.
I mean, Scott, Evan, me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was sort of using Nuggetbridge as a way to get a job at TPCI.
Yeah.
That's why I was, like, focused on running the tournaments, and I did some commentary, but, that didn't happen, but, yeah.
Yeah. But moving on, 2013 rolls around. The first regional was the NorCal Regional Championships. You didn't even play VGC. You top cut TCG, right?
Yeah, I think I
top
was
cut TCG.
Still playing TCG, and I did pretty. Like I had a choice. Like the night before, I'm in top cut.
Do I drop and play, or do I drop and play VGC, or do I just continue with top cut and TCG?
Like considering the way I won, to make it into Top Cut. I was like, you know what? I'd feel bad if I didn't, so I did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I played TCG again.
You lost the first round of Top Cut, right?
No, I won.
You won the first round of Top
I won
Cut.
the first round, lost the second round to a SoCal guy that
Okay.
I was pretty cool with.
Yeah. Well, that sounded fun, but the next regional championship in that format was SoCal, the Southern California Regional Championships, which actually brings me to the next, topic that I want to discuss with you about is the fact that that was Maylee's first tournament. That was your younger sister's
Yeah.
first tournament, and that's, you've always been around as a coach
Yeah.
for VGC players. You obviously helped Hui, and in turn you helped me. There was a juniors division player, Vince. Remember Vince?
Yeah, I remember
You helped
Vince.
him.
Yeah,
then-
that was just random. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Maylee comes around, and you're just like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to teach you how to play VGC, and then she actually does exceptionally well
Yeah.
at VGC.
How
So
old- she was born, so she was like 8, 7 or 8
yeah,
when I did that. Yeah. Like I took an okay team myself, but I was focused on her, and it was a lot of work because she didn't really like understand much because it was a very last minute kind of thing. So I made flowcharts and stuff for her, and she ended up winning, and that was super surprising. And she ended up doing really well when she was playing, like to the point where I think she won like 3 regionals in a row.
just like you.
Yeah, like
Just like you.
yeah, I think she's better than me. Yeah, like we went to, I think it was the next year, we went to NorCal. She won that undefeated. Went to Phoenix. She won that undefeated. And then like she went off, like, what year was it with the Nationals? 2013
2013
Nationals.
Nats, yeah.
It was something else. Like just
She almost beat
Bo Berg.
Bo Berg in that finals match. It was really close.
That was one of the best moments of my life, I think. Like everyone in that room was rooting for her because
poor Bo, man.
yeah,
Poor Bo.
like I feel bad for him, but like everyone in that room was rooting for her, and you could even tell from like Scott and Evan's commentary, they wanted her to win. Everyone wanted her to win because she was related to me, and like it was. It's just really exciting to see someone else that I put so much work into take it that far, and it's I don't have words for it. Like just seeing my sister do that, like I'm kind of tearing up now.
I see it actually.
Like just thinking of
it's absolutely awesome that you're able to get your younger sister into this. Obviously, you two are really close, right?
Yeah.
You guys? I mean, you guys are, I guess, at different parts of California, but you guys still keep in touch.
Yeah, like I almost sort of raised her, sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
Like she was born when I was 17. Like there's a huge age gap, but both our parents worked, and so I was constantly like taking care of her and doing all that. So it was almost like seeing your child do something. And
Yeah.
like I don't have any kids, and just seeing someone who it was sort of my kid. Just do that,
Yeah,
and
you help take care of her and stuff like that. Yeah.
I see what it's like to be a parent.
I think one of my fondest memories of this whole, you coaching Maylee was when you were building her SoCal team for 2013, and you told me like, hey, because this is juniors division. Let's just throw on like, do you want this Shedinja?
Yeah.
On your Zerowing? Which one do you want to psych out the other kids? And just like, I want Shedinja. I want that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super awesome, and she's moved on from VGC now. She's focusing on her own things, but it's still cool that you were able to spend so much time. You sacrificed your own time to practice and compete just so that your younger sister could do that.
Yeah. So like 2014 was actually really good for both of us. So 2013, I don't think there was an LCQ there was. I forgot. I lost to a Japanese player. Again, 1 game away.
Yeah, I remember. There's a photo on the internet of you in your American gear, facing off versus Jason Articuno 64 Winya. in his Canadian
Yeah,
year.
it
So
was-
it's sort of a battle of the borders right there.
Yeah.
This is the first World Championships held outside the United States. So that was that was
yeah,
there.
that was pretty cool. I remember that now. I think I played really well that tournament, but that Japanese player was just a little bit better than me.
Yeah. So 2014.
2014
this
was
a comeback.
awesome.
This was
yeah,
a comeback.
Like, I mean, I guess it was kind of a comeback, but I started doing well again. Maylee, I forget if she won Long Beach or not. Maybe top 3.
That
But
tournament was a long.
it
one.
was, yeah, like they left like 5 hours before we were done. So that tournament was the biggest tournament ever at that point. And
Yeah, you top cut that. We had 2 flights. They had to
two
split
f-
us into 2
two
flights.
of so many, and
Yeah.
then I was 9-0, and I was feeling it. I was doing really well, and then Gavin hacks me in top 4.
Yeah.
That was rough, and I think NorCal was later on. Yeah, it all sort of blurs together now. I ended up getting top 16 in CP to get a free trip to Nats. Maylee got a free trip to Nats because she was like number 1 in
Yeah.
CP.
Yeah.
She was killing it, and yeah, that was a really good year for both of us until we hit nationals. And the metagame, she just wasn't used to the 2014 meta.
Mm-hmm. And
She
then
got a lot of her points from the 2013 meta.
Yeah, and I think after that, her interest kind of just
Yeah,
rounded
it's-
off at that point.
Her having to learn like new stuff every year would have been tough, and like she never really liked the game, but she liked winning.
Just like you. I mean, you
Yeah.
both have that competitive spirit. in
Yeah,
you.
so we both made Nats with free trips, and she made top cut. I didn't. I think I had the bye, and then immediately played Wolf, and immediately played a counter team, and I was like, this is I can't win this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you qualify for the World Championships in 2014?
No.
No, you missed it.
Yeah, I missed it by a little bit, but yeah.
Were you even there in Washington D.C.?
No, I didn't go.
Yeah. So, I think that's really it for you in terms of VGC competitiveness.
Yeah, pretty
'cause
much
I think at that
stopped.
point you stopped at, things just took over in your life. Air traffic control school. Right?
Yeah.
Paul, you are currently an air traffic controller at San Jose International Airport. I think that's pretty cool, actually. What was that process like? You had to take so much time off. I think that's one of the reasons why you took so much time off, right? Just because you
Yeah.
focus on that.
So I went to school for it, and
After you left Davis, right?
after I left Davis, yeah. So back when I first wanted to become an air traffic controller, they would hire directly from certain colleges. So I went to a college, and I just wanted to knock it all out. So I was taking like 30 units or something when
Dude, that's insane.
yeah. So I was crushing it in school, and I didn't really have time to do much else, so I didn't play Pokemon. I was also really didn't have money to go traveling around.
Yeah, it started getting expensive.
Yeah, so I was focused on school and getting through that. And then, of course, as I'm graduating, they changed the hiring process to we hire everyone now. So, except not everyone, they just hire randomly. So, yeah, it took a couple more years for that. So I was just doing other stuff. But eventually, yeah, like 2.5 years ago now, I got picked up, and it was actually 3 years ago, but I finally got in 2.5 years ago. But yeah, it's been pretty awesome doing that.
Yeah, I can't believe you actually. So you were a SoCal player. Eventually moved up here to Fremont, California with
Yeah.
me. You actually picked Fremont just so you could hang out with me more.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you enjoy like being an air traffic controller? Like, isn't it kind of stressful?
See, there's 95% of the time it's easy and anyone could do it. Maybe if you knew.
I don't think.
Maybe not.
I don't
I
think
don't
people
know.
want to hear that, man.
Maybe not. No. You still have to be like well trained, but like 95% of the time it's pretty chill, and we're still focused and all that. But then like 5% of the time you're stressing a lot. Like,
Yeah, it seems stressful. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just juggling
things
planes in the
things
air.
happen. Like one time before a football game, like everyone flies into that airport for the football games. I've never talked to so many planes in my life, and it's difficult to keep it all together, but you know, they do really good training to get you to the point where it just becomes second nature. Second nature. It's like it just happens.
Yeah.
And it's difficult but very rewarding and fun job.
I think it's awesome that you do that, and that's actually one of the reasons why you're my first interviewees at the Pal Pad, because I want you to help me take off right now, and that's what you do, right? But yeah, I mean,
Clear you for takeoff.
yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you're up here now. I mean, we used to just be able to see each other once,
twice
to
a year. Yeah.
one to 5 times a year, depending on how many
Yeah.
tournaments we each decide to go to. But now, look at us. We're hanging out every week,
Yeah.
pretty much. Playing basketball at the park every week. I hang out with you more so than you do with Hui.
Yeah, so like Hui was originally like one of my closer friends
Yeah.
online, and then I guess he got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
We didn't. So yeah, so you and I hang out more.
Yeah, play ball and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been great. And it's awesome that you're here. I'm glad that you love your job. You think you're going to be competing anytime soon?
Not really.
No. Yeah.
No, like
it's busy, man.
it's just the way you get time off from air traffic control is really difficult in terms of like knowing,
Yeah.
because like they never reveal the world's dates until like months before, and like time is already taken, like someone's already taken that time off, so it's like I can't get that time off, and
Yeah.
so it just makes it difficult to adhere to the Pokemon travel schedule. Like, I'd love to keep playing. Like, I've, played in MSSs and local stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly just joke
Buzzwole.
teams. Yeah.
Bringing those Buzzwole teams. Buzz.
Yeah, just bringing joke teams and having fun with it. But, yeah, like, I'd love to play again, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah, well, best of luck to you, my man.
Yeah.
Probably see you on the basketball court next Thursday. Thanks for letting me come over again. I want to say thanks for stopping by, but this is your house.
You stopped by.
Yeah, I stopped by. Thanks for letting me stop by.
Yeah.
And doing this interview with you, and here's to our futures together. Not like together, but like up here in Northern California.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So are you looking for a host, like a second host?
Maybe I'll think
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
okay.
Do you want? Yeah, you want to do this?
Maybe put my hat in the ring.
Yeah. Put your hat in the ring. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Pal Pad. If you enjoyed it and want to hear more, and go ahead and drop a review for us. Most importantly, don't forget to register us in your Pal Pad. Hit the subscribe button and follow us on Twitter at the Pal Pad. Until next time, guys, have a good one.